Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 58 of the Computer Business Marketing Show. Today's episode is brought to you by Tech Reputation. Tech Reputation offers IT business owners a simple and effective way to manage, acquire, and market their positive reviews online. In addition, the online dashboard includes the ability to enter your company details once and have it published to over 60 directory and review sites and keep it updated, synchronized, and without duplication. For a 14-day free trial, visit techreputation.com/TSB and you'll get 10% off your setup and monthly subscription. You can also have a 30-day no-risk money-back guarantee on top of all of that. So check it out at techreputation.com/TSB. It's also brought to you by Tech Site Builder. Tech Site Builder is a hosted website builder that allows you to quickly and easily get a clean, professional, and effective website up and running for your IT business. Save time and frustration with Tech Site Builder. Learn more at techsitebuilder.com. On today's show, we have Michael Fierros, who is the owner of the Mac Labs, and he's going to talk to us about his experiences being a new computer business startup. Find out what's working for him, what's not working for him, plus learn about a clever idea he has to use his dog as a way to market his business. It's definitely a cool out-of-the-box kind of thinking. All that and so much more coming up right now. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Computer Business Marketing Show. If you own or work in an IT services business, this is the place to learn how to get more clients, keep them happy, and grow your revenue. You can watch, download, and or subscribe to all show episodes at computerbusinessmarketing.com. Also, be sure to tune into our live stream. It happens every week on Facebook at Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Just be sure to like the Tech Site Builder Facebook page, select the following tab, and then choose See First so that the video will jump to the top of your stream and you can catch it live there on Facebook. Otherwise, just head on over to iTunes or Stitcher or your favorite podcatcher and search for the Computer Business Marketing Show, and you can subscribe to it there. We've got some fancy new graphics for the artwork for the podcast, and on the website as well. We're kind of slowly going through a rebranding of the computer business marketing stuff. So check that out as well. I'm actually using a service of a guest I had on in the past, who his service is called Penji, and it's basically a monthly subscription to unlimited graphic design. So I signed up for that service and I'm using it, and it's working out really great. The graphics are really slick, and it's working out really well. So definitely shout out to the folks over at Penji for helping me rebrand the computer business marketing stuff. So, hey guys, we have a great episode for you today. This one is going to be unique in that we have someone who, isn't necessarily a marketing guru or someone who's, been running a computer business for decades. It's someone who's kind of, just grinding it out, starting fairly recently, went from part-time to full-time, and is, trying lots of stuff and learning lots of stuff. And these are sometimes some of the best types of folks to learn from, because they're experimenting and they're trying everything. And you need to really get a lot of traction in these early days to build a client base and stuff. And so I have Michael Fierros here, and he is the owner of the Mac Labs, and he's going to talk to us about some of his experiences as kind of a startup computer business. So thanks for being here, Michael.
Thank you for having me, Matt. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm going to look forward to digging into that with you in a minute. Before we do that, just want to give a shout out to our first sponsor, and that is Tech Reputation. Tech Reputation is a service that offers IT business owners a way to manage, acquire, and market their positive reviews online. So let's kind of walk through the scenario of how Tech Reputation can help you. So you have a computer business, you have a customer that called you for service. You went out, say you're a remote tech, you went out to their residence or their business place, you fixed their computer, and then everything seemed great. They said, okay, thanks for the service. They paid you. you went on your way, you went back to your shop, and you went on about your business. Typically, this could happen in the past where, then you go on with your life, and maybe a couple weeks or even a couple months down the road, you're scrolling, through Google to, you Google yourself like we tend to do, just to see how you're doing and see what your business looks like and where you're ranking and stuff like that in Google. And you notice all of a sudden that your star rating in Google went down, and you check your star, you're like 3 stars now all of a sudden. And you check your ratings, and you see that everybody dreads, that 1-star review. And you're like, oh my God, where'd that 1-star review come from? And turns out it's that person who you did service for the other day. They weren't happy with something that might have been out of your control, or they misunderstood something, or, and they either were embarrassed to tell you then, or maybe it happened after you left. And instead of contacting you, they just decided to vent. They were in a bad mood that day or something, and they left you a 1-star review on Google. And now you're sitting at 3 stars because you only had a couple reviews on Google anyway. So that 1 star brought your whole thing down to 3 stars. And now when people look up computer repair, they're comparing your 3 stars to your competition's 5 stars, and they're going to go to your competition. So how do you avoid that? Get Tech Reputation, let them manage the review process for you. So in this scenario, right when you got home, or even before you left the customer and you entered in their information, it would go to your favorite CRM or repair tracking software like Repair Shopper. And as soon as you marked that job as done, it would signal that service to send them an email, your customer an email. The email would say, hey, thanks for being our customer. Please let us know what you thought of our service. And then they have the opportunity then and there to talk about their frustrations, or, if something didn't work out right. They can say if their service was bad, then it will send you an email saying, hey, this person thought your service was bad. Why don't you, contact them and help work it out. So that gives you the opportunity to come back around to that customer, figure out what wasn't right, figure out what problems they might have, how you can make it right, do whatever you can to make it right, because this day and age, you can't afford to have a pissed off customer. Even if your customer is in the wrong, you still have to find a way to make it right, to appease them, to avoid that 1-star review. Then when they do have a great service, they get that same message, they said they had a great experience, then it sends them to Google so that they can leave a review. And that's important, because a lot of times when someone has a good experience, they don't do anything. They just go on with their lives. They don't think to leave a Google review. So you want to prompt them to leave a review when they have a good service. That way you can start racking up those 5-star reviews. And then eventually, when you have dozens and dozens of good 5-star reviews, even if that 1-star slips through, it's not going to affect your overall rating that much. So that's kind of the power of a service like Tech Reputation. It does that automatically, so you don't really have to think about it. You don't have to remember to do that stuff. And it does a lot of other cool things on the back end. It helps you track all of your reviews so you can see how you're doing across the different services. And it will also allow you to display those good reviews on your website, on your social media accounts, in other places, so that you can kind of use those positive reviews as a marketing tool. And we're all about marketing here at the Computer Business Marketing Show. So with that said, definitely check out Tech Reputation. My good friend Ramy is running that. He definitely cares about computer business owners. He is a computer business owner himself, and he wants to help you guys out. He knows the struggle. The struggle is real, and he understands it. So he has offered an exclusive discount for listeners of the show. If you go to this URL, techreputation.com/TSB, and then it's got all the details there. You can get 10% off your sign-up fee and your monthly fee for the life of your account. So that's, I think, a great deal. So check that out. Plus, on top of that, you also get a 14-day free trial just to try it out, see if it's for you, and then a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if after those 14 days you keep trying it out and then something doesn't work out right and you want to cancel, you can get your money back within 30 days. So it's basically no risk. There's all these different things in place to minimize the risk so that you can just try it out, make sure it works for you, and then get that 10% off at techreputation.com/TSB. And let them know that Tech Site Builder sent you and the Computer Business Marketing Show. All right, so let's jump into the featured topic with my friend here, Michael Fierros. He is the owner of the Mac Labs out of Yuma, Arizona, and he is going to talk to us about his experiences, getting his business up and running, going from part-time to full-time, and what he's done to start to grow his business. And then we'll dig into maybe some of the struggles he's having and some of his plans for the future and all of that stuff. So, Michael, how you been? How's it going? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, definitely, Matt. Thank you for having me. Appreciate that. It's an honor to be on Tech Site Builder Computer Marketing Business Show. So I'm here in Yuma, Arizona, good old Yuma. It's a cool 105 degrees outside. So I'm a third generation tech. I was born and raised in Yuma. With that being said, my grandfather went from working in the agricultural fields for about 20 years and decided to make a drastic career change, went to electronics. My dad followed suit with it, although even though he went to electronics, he followed him with doing computer repair on the side. And so I grew up with that and seeing my dad and my grandfather and them enjoying interaction with their clients and their customers and fixing and getting really dirty as far as fixing computers, electronics, stereos. I saw that growing up. And it wasn't until maybe a few years ago where I just had that itch where it's like, I need to do something like my grandfather and my dad did. So naturally, I started working on computers, started helping my dad a little bit. Once I started getting learning a little bit more what my dad knew, I decided to do it as a business. When I first started doing the Mac Labs, it was originally a mobile repair business with a partner I had. So we did iPhones, iPads, iPods. We did some Apple repair. Unfortunately, to keep our friendship intact, we decided to part ways. We're still friends to this day. However, once that happened, I kind of rebranded. So instead of doing mobile devices, I decided to do computer repair. For residential and both IT business support, our business clients, small business clients. And honestly, what really helped me was watching your show, Matthew, hearing some podcasts online, doing some research as far as marketing. Like you said, I'm no guru whatsoever. It's funny how you come to a place where you decide, should I do this? And you figure, all the jobs you had before has led you to a certain point in life. And so, I have a media background. I used to do radio and TV production. I used to help film commercials. I used to do radio spots for public radio. So I have some audio editing and video editing skills. And then I went to law enforcement.
Oh, interesting.
I went into law enforcement because I was getting married at the time and doing, working in media, especially in a small market like Yuma is. It wasn't affordable, so I had to make a drastic career change. Went to law enforcement, worked at the local sheriff's office here for 4.5 years. And after, in about the tail end of that, that's when I had that itch of working in IT or doing some type of computer repair or mobile repair. And I just kind of made a splash into it, just putting flyers up. Facebook has been a lot of help. Social media has been a lot of help. Watching what other computer techs do, watch what local repair centers do here in Yuma as far as what they're targeting. It took me a few years to understand doing it part-time that I could target an audience. I didn't know I could do that. Because doing mobile repair, especially at least with my experience, I didn't want clients, a certain clientele. So when I watched one of your episodes, as far as what clientele to go for, so I looked in our region here in Yuma. Law enforcement, military, agriculture is really big. So a lot of the ag companies need IT help. So I started targeting those people, trying to reach out to them.
How would you target those types of clients?
So one of the big marketing campaigns, and I have a lot of family members and friends in those professions, law enforcement, military, agriculture industry, teachers, nurses. I started a marketing campaign called a Hero Discount, and what that entails is basically 15% off services and repairs, and it targets that clientele. And as soon as I put that on social media, especially locally, I've gotten a lot of calls from Marines, Army personnel, and it's something that they do appreciate, and that kind of picked up and helped as far as getting my word out and who I am, what service I provide.
That's a great idea. So you're targeting not necessarily like an industry, but like a type of person, like someone who's in service and public service kind of thing,
Definitely.
and the way you're doing that is by offering like a discount to that type of person. So that's a great way to attract that specific type of person, is to offer a discount to that type of person. And I think that's a great thing that anybody can take away from, if you want to kind of get your foot in the door of, if maybe you're focusing on a different industry or a different type of client than you have been in the past. You can say you worked with one accountant and you really like working with accountants. They pay you on time and all of that kind of thing.
That's true.
And they're reliable. And so you're like, okay, I want more accountant. I want more accountant clients. So you can have like, hey, we have this accountant special or accountant appreciation deal or something, and throw that out there. And even if you just throw it out to the world, it'll attract that type of person, even if you don't know where to find them or how to target to them or whatever. You just throw it out there and you'll get those people coming to you, and then eventually you can start to build up that niche. I think that's a great idea.
Definitely. And because like I said, one of your shows that I listened to, it really got me thinking, who do I have here to service in Yuma? And so I started thinking, well, military is huge here. You got the Marines and the Army, and some Navy personnel. Agriculture is a $1 billion industry here in the Southwest part of the United States. Nurses, EMT. I'm former law enforcement, so I started thinking, okay, I'm gonna start targeting them, and they definitely like it. It's kind of a thank you. At the same time, it does generate that word of mouth and that flowing income coming in.
Yeah, I think if you can get into one of those, those circles of people, then they talk to each other and they recommend stuff to each other, so it can kind of have a snowball effect.
Oh,
Within
definitely.
those communities. So, are you doing mostly residential? Are you doing some business? What kind of services are you providing?
Yeah, I'm doing actually a little bit of both. So since I've been doing full time since last October, I have 3 business account clients right now. So I'm doing a little bit of both. I pay a little more attention to my business clients because they need a little bit more help as far as maintaining their IT infrastructure, maintaining their computer systems, doing updates to them, preventive maintenance, networking. So I give them a little more attention. But to just to get extra income coming in, I do residential. I do break fix, and it kind of helps. It definitely, you do want to make sure you're the revenue that your clients are bringing in, those guys are really taken care of, and make sure that blood is coming in as far as getting the revenue in. So yeah, I'm doing a little bit of both right now.
Cool. So what is working especially well lately? Like, what have you tried that's getting the most new people in the door for you?
Honestly, it's word of mouth. What really helps me too is, and it's more of the older generation, the older folks,
Hmm.
60 and up. Some people knew my grandfather, some people knew my dad. So a lot of times they used to call my grandpa TV because he used to work on TVs back in the 50s and 60s here in Yuma. So when they hear my last name, that definitely does have a little pull as far as integrity and should I trust this guy with my computer system? So that definitely helps. Lately, I've been just kind of testing the waters as far as what services I could provide, especially in social media. I've been trying to do a little more live Facebook feeds, some videos I post on YouTube, just to kind of update people and help them out. I do another. Oh, actually, I have. Actually, now you mentioned, I am starting something. I had 2 weeks ago. I had a client who's a teacher of mine, well, not a teacher of mine, but a teacher, and she had a little girl that came into my office, and she looked kind of bored, and she was just kind of filling her fingers, and while I'm telling her mom what I did exactly to her Mac, and it comes to thought, I'm like, I don't have any coloring books or any activity books for her to just kind of pass the time with, and me and my wife, we have a little Yorkie dog, and his name's Louie, and I kind of just thought that I'm just like, wouldn't it be so cool to have something where it's a little activity book, maybe a 4-page book, and give it to a kid and use it not just to have him learn about computers or about Louie I'm calling Louie the tech dog, but having something where it's interactive, but also at the end of it have something where it says hey, the Mac Labs LLC, something like that. And I'm actually having a computer animation artist working on that book right now. Nice. My plan is to give them to kids, whether I do outreaches or community events, or even my clients. I could tell them, hey, do you have a kids? Are you a teacher? Here's some books that Louie the Tech Dog. You learn a little bit about computers, and you can help Louie the Tech Dog fight off computer viruses.
Yeah, now, I went back when I was doing computer repair and I would go to people's houses. Oftentimes their kids would be there, and oftentimes their kids would be like looking over my shoulder and asking me questions, and so I think that's a perfect opportunity to, hey, I got this cool coloring book. Here you go. The kids will love it. The parents will love it, and it's another form of swag that you can leave behind.
It definitely
have
is.
your logo on it or something. And yeah, that's very cool. I've never heard of that before, so I think that's a great idea. And then, like you said, you can have it in your back pocket as a giveaway, or if you go to a convention or a trade show or something, and there's kids walking around, you can have those as giveaways too. It's a great idea.
Definitely, and how I came up with that too. Another ingredient of the idea was growing up here in Yuma. We used to have a local guy. They used to have a Chihuahua. They used to call it Taco the dog, and he'd do appearances at schools and the local fairgrounds, carnival here, and I just kind of put two together. Well, dogs in general, people trust dogs, trust people with dogs. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try that. And so I told my wife about it, and she's like, okay, you do it.
Nice. Yeah, I like the kind of out of the box thinking there, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what you need to do, because you need to stand out from the crowd and stand out from the competition. How is the competition? Is there like a major player in your area, or is it kind of more smaller shops?
It's more smaller shops. It's more mom and pop shops. We don't have, other than maybe Geek Squad with Best Buy, we don't really have any major like data doctors in the Phoenix area. We don't have any major huge shops to compete with, and so that does help.
That's good. Yeah.
So it's I don't really call them competition. It's more a lot of times if I don't have time to work on a certain computer because I have to go to a meeting or I have to get something done, have to take care of a client, I'll actually refer them to someone I know that's going to take care of them, and they do in return do the same.
Yeah, that's going to be my next question: is have you reached out to any of these guys and
Yeah,
formed
definitely.
partnerships and stuff? It sounds like you have.
Definitely,
Very cool.
definitely. I've had meetings with a couple of them. A lot of them knew my dad and my grandpa. Some of them who are older, and so that does definitely have a little pull locally.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely reached out to them.
Now, is it? I'm assuming you're still just a one man shop, right? You don't have any employees or anything.
Correct. Yeah, I'm still a one man shop. My wife does help me as far as translation. My Spanish isn't very well, so I have several clients that speak just Spanish. So I'll have my wife tag along with me, and she'll translate for me. Because I find that Google Translator doesn't work often all the time.
Yeah, you can't rely on that.
No, you can't.
Now, so your name is the Mac Labs. Do you just focus on Macs, or do you do PC repair
No,
also?
and you know what? That's the great misconception locally. So originally, what I wanted to do is when I had my old partner, me and him, it was just pure Apple. But when I started working in IT, I started enjoying working on networks, interacting with people, working on Windows PCs. flirting around with some, the flavors of Linux. I started enjoying that. So I kept the name, the Mac Labs. But yeah, I do work on Windows PCs. I work on networking. I set
Does
up.
that have, I would imagine that does confuse your customers though sometimes.
Yeah,
Are you
definitely.
afraid that's going to turn off people who are looking for PC repair and just see your name and won't contact you?
You know what? I thought about that, and it's happened. It's popped up in my head a few times. But more often than not, they'll actually message me, "Hey, do you work on Windows PCs too?"
Mm,
And I'll
yeah,
reach out to them and say, "Yeah, I do." And but yeah, that's how that has popped up in my head.
right. Yeah, and I mean, there's really no way around it other than to rename your business, but that's such a huge
Correct.
headache.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I can see maybe you using that to your advantage and using like some clever marketing spin on, Mac versus PC and I don't know, something to
That's
think
awesome.
about.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah. Um, cool. So what are you struggling with? What have you found that maybe isn't working so well, or you're still trying to figure out as far as getting the word out about your business?
um, I found out actually that a lot of my clientele, they're older folks, and a lot of them don't really have Facebooks. It's usually, they do Google search, and they'll find the Mac Labs on there. Um, Usually it's just trying to network locally. I've surrounded myself with a couple of gentlemen that have local businesses here, not necessarily in IT or computer repair industry, but they kind of guide me a little bit as far as how to market myself, who to talk to. And I think sometimes I have a hard time because I'm working on stuff to go out and networking events,
Hmm.
to attend different networking mixers, stuff like that.
Right. It's good that you're busy, but it's also hard to grow your business and find the time to do some of that stuff.
Yeah, it definitely
Um,
is.
yeah. Do you have any kind of like trade shows or anything in your area?
No, and,
Like
and that
Chamber of Commerce type of events?
actually, yeah, we do have the local chamber of commerce. I have a ex former coworker that works with chamber of commerce, and she's reached out to me several times to join it. And it's just one of those things on my checklist I'm going to do. I just haven't done it just because uh, I've been working on different marketing stuff, especially going full time. I've learned that I really need to take care of my business clients. And so more often than not, I'm helping them with their IT stuff. But no, there's uh, to put it in perspective, Yuma is basically 3 hours from Phoenix, Arizona, 2.5 hours from San Diego, 4 hours from LA, about 4.5 hours from Las Vegas. So we're in the middle of everything. Although there's nothing locally that's huge enough to come down. But yeah, we do have. To answer your question, we do have chamber of commerce and chamber mixers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So you're far enough away from those hubs where it probably wouldn't make sense to get customers there. You want to kind of stick locally
Definitely.
to get the customers, and yeah, it's tough when you don't have a lot of big events going on.
Yeah, it is. It
Um,
is.
so so I see you got like the hat and the shirt, and you got your branding seems your branding game seems pretty strong.
Oh yeah.
How else do you use your branding? Do you have something on your vehicle, or
Yeah.
where else do you use it?
Yeah, I use magnets on my truck. So I have a pickup truck, and I have two magnets on the side, one in the back end, and two magnets on my tailgate. And so it's funny. I'll go to lunch to like a Wendy's or something, and they'll ask me like, "Oh, how do you work? How do you like working at the Mac Labs?" And I'll tell them, "Nope, it's awesome. I think it's one of the best jobs I ever had." Oh, awesome. How's the owner?
Yeah,
He's really nice.
right. Nice. Very good.
Yeah.
So can you attribute customers you've gotten because of that?
Oh, definitely. I've been at stores with my wife, and we'll be shopping around, and I've caught a person just kind of staring at my truck, and I'll put the groceries in my truck, and they'll ask me, "Hey, do you work on computers?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Hey, I'm having an issue with a Windows PC that's not booting up correctly," and we'll have a talk right there and, exchange numbers and information and take care of them with their IT issues. But that definitely helps. Especially I find it more often than not wearing my hat and my polo shirt and driving the truck around. If I go to, and it's weird, if I go to the mall where we have Sam's Club, Target, J.C. Penney, um, my wife loves the shop, so it's funny. I'll stay either in my truck or walking around, and usually it's the younger folks that recognize me. Hey, you're the guy, the Mac Lab guy, right? You're the
Right.
guy that always posts stuff. So it
Nice.
definitely helps, though.
Oh, cool. So you have people recognizing your logo from the stuff you're posting online.
Definitely, yeah, especially locally.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. So how do you do that? How do you make sure that the stuff you're posting on social media gets seen by people locally? And how do you, keep that interaction going? And then what kind of stuff do you post?
So it took me a while to understand that I can't just post prices all the time. I can't just post. I just can't post stuff I'm working on. I have to get a little more interactive with my customers and help them, even though I'm not helping them directly with them.
Hmm.
So after following your show, watching even Paco LeBron and other podcasts, I come to learn sometimes the clients need help and they need to be able to trust you before they even get your service. So I have a little segment on my website called the Mac Labs Tech Journal, and what that entails is basically tips, hints, and tricks on technology. Whether you're a business owner, you're trying to figure out what computer to buy, what type of computer to use. If you're a creative professional, should I buy Mac versus PC? What should I do when setting up a Wi-Fi router? And I come to know that people actually like that. I've had a couple of my clients tell me that, yeah, I saw your post and it looks like you're knowledgeable, so I'll hire you. And so
Nice.
that definitely helps out. As far as trying to get people to go to my Facebook, locally we have local, they call it exchanges
Hmm.
on Facebook, and I'll usually share a post or two to at least 10 at a time or 11 at a time just to get the word out.
Nice.
Because one thing I've learned, and I'm still learning it, consistency is a big thing when it comes to marketing.
Yep.
And it sometimes it's tough, but it's definitely needs to be done though.
Yeah, because it might not be the first time that you catch someone's eye or that they need your help, but maybe the 10th or 20th or
Definitely,
even longer time that you post something that they'll be like, okay, now I trust this guy. This guy, I keep seeing him popping up all the time, and then you'll be top of mind, and that's really important is to just stay
definitely.
top of mind. So very cool. Yeah, Brian in the chat says that you have mad graphic design skills, and he's impressed by your marketing efforts on
Thanks.
Facebook.
Actually, this one because the original logo was actually just a power button. I flirted a little bit with Photoshop. I don't really work full time media now, so I don't do it. But I actually had a young man, a friend of mine, help me with it. So I told him to see if he could help me with it, and he put little lab test tubes inside the
Yeah,
computer system right here. And so that's something I never really thought of, and I was like, let's do it.
yeah. It's a catchy logo. It's not like a typical logo. It's got it from far away. You can't quite tell what it is, so you have to
Yeah,
kind of get a little bit closer, and you have to do some more investigation.
that's true.
And so it definitely it catches the eye and it's unique. So I definitely like it.
Definitely.
Uh, Very cool. So yeah, it sounds like you're definitely off to a great start and you're doing everything right and you're learning and you're applying the stuff that you're learning and and then staying consistent. That's a big thing and you're just again just trying everything and now one thing you posted in the group here recently was that you got featured in the local news. They
Yeah.
interviewed you for a story, and that's something we've talked about on the show before. I'm just curious, kind of how you got into that for folks who are listening who might be interested in doing the same.
Yeah, definitely. So it was funny because I was working on a client's Mac, and I get a phone call from a local reporter here, asking me if I like to answer a few questions that he has, and first I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And so after
What
further
did I do wrong?
Yeah. After I kept talking to him, it was basically a story here locally of a young man who's 23 years old, who, according to media, went up and down different thousands of WalMarts, bought computers, and took the parts out of them. And I don't know if he put, some old computer parts in them or just a bag of rocks in it to make it,
Right.
feel heavy, but he took it back, got the money back, and so they wanted that. They asked me, hey, what value is it inside a computer, and what could he have done with it? And so
Right.
I went down to the TV studio, and because I worked there years ago, a lot of there were some old faces there, and and so I answered the questions he had. It was basically, and honestly, the way he found it was just Google. It was just a Google search.
Right. So
He
that's a
put
great kind of side benefit to having good SEO and making sure your website shows up in Google searches, because not
definitely.
only might customers be looking for you, but reporters might be looking for, a computer shop or something to ask questions and interview. So that's a great kind of side bonus of having a
Definitely,
good website.
definitely, and I just want to say one thing. I remember 2 shows ago, Matt. You had a journalist that came up on there, and she mentioned, and when I used to work in media, the one big thing is, they need help, they need assistance with their stories, and that's something that whatever assistance they need with their stories, you give it to them. Whether it's computers, any information. They're looking for facts so they can build a story on, and he definitely liked that. And what helped me also is remembering the show a couple shows ago on that. So that kind of warmed me up a little bit.
Very cool. Yeah, I love it. I like seeing people apply stuff they hear from the show in real life and seeing how that works out. So that's very
Definitely, it
cool.
definitely it definitely helps out a lot.
Excellent. Let's see. So what is your kind of your vision for your company in the future? Where do you see yourself like 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
One of the goals and what I'd like to do, Lord willing, is to actually have a full staff, IT staff. So one of my goals is, I'm not sure if I want to break away from residential break fix, but I know I do want to target more IT business clients, whether it be here locally or nationally, through remote desktop help. In 5 years, Lord willing, I hope to see, having, 4 techs, administrative assistant, a CFO, possibly. But the thing, like I say, is there's some nights, especially Matt, and some other guys here know, and women know that when you have your full time business, there's some nights you really don't sleep because you definitely need to grind, whether it's 2 a.m. in the morning doing marketing ideas or you know early in the morning doing, you really don't stop, and the harder you work, just don't give up. that's one thing
Yeah,
i'm
that's a big piece.
that's one
Is
thing I'm learning right now.
Yep. You gotta
Definitely,
stick it through
we
the
have
tough
to.
times and just keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully I'll have you back in 5 years and we can talk
Oh,
about
definitely.
you can give us advice on hiring employees and
There we go.
and all of that stuff.
That'll
So
be awesome.
awesome. Thanks. Well, thanks so much for doing this interview. If folks wanted to reach out to you and get your advice or talk about some of the stuff you talked about today, where's the best place they could find you?
Yeah, you could go to my website, www.themaclabs.techsitebuilder.com. You can reach out to my email, which is itprofessional@themaclabs.com. You could Facebook me. So you could put my name, Michael Fierros, and I'm one of the few Michael Fierroses in the country, so it'll pop up right
Nice.
away.
Very good.
So you can reach me that way.
Awesome. Great. So yeah, guys, definitely he's active in the computer business marketing group, and got a great website. Wherever you're hosting that must be a great service because
Oh
it,
yeah, they're
it
awesome. They
looks
have an
good.
awesome service.
So stick around. We'll circle back around with you after this. But really quick, just wanted to give a shout out to TechSite Builder, and that is the other sponsor of this podcast. It's also the service that I created that Michael uses for his website, that lots of other listeners to the podcast use for their website. It's basically it's a platform for your computer business website to get it up and running quick, make it very efficient, make it easy to put it together so that you don't have to worry about security or hosting or any of the headaches that come along with trying to put together the website yourself. Instead, that's all taken care of so you can, put it up really quickly and then just get back to running your business. We give you all the tools you need, none of the tools you don't need. And if you don't have time to put together the website yourself, we can do it for you. We've got lots of different services, including blog writing, SEO, content writing, designing. We can put it all together for you using our concierge services. So whether you want to build it yourself for the low monthly fee or have us put something together for you with one of our concierge services, we've got kind of something for every budget level and something for every need. So definitely check out techsitebuilder.com. Michael, if you don't mind me putting you on the spot, what do you like about TechSite Builder for your website?
What I really like about TechSite Builder is the SEO.
Because you got found by that reporter, right?
Oh, that has, man, yeah, that has. I think that has definitely helped as far as awareness of my website. That thing, yeah, SEO. I think number one for me. The back end, the security on there is excellent. I don't have to worry about that. But definitely SEO, definitely. If you don't have TechSite Builder, you'll find when you do get it that the SEO is awesome, and you'll get surprise phone calls like I did. I didn't ever think the reporter would call me, but definitely.
Right. Yeah. And that's that's one of the things we focus on is we make sure the SEO is good, and lots of other services have good SEO. But what we do with TechSite Builder is we make sure the SEO is fine-tuned for computer repair businesses. So we make sure your address and your location are front and center in the code and on the front end. We make the website load very fast and make it very simple. So that Google, when it searches when it crawls the website, it's able to find all the information it needs, and it doesn't get bogged down in extra code or extra flashy stuff that doesn't need to be there. So it's we like to make it simple for you to put together, but also simple for visitors to find the information they need, and for search engines to crawl your site and find the information they need as well. So that's kind of all the optimizations we put into the back end of the service, and it does seem to work out for our customers. I mean, when they switch from some other service to us, a lot of times they'll come to us and say, hey, I noticed I'm ranking a lot better, or I'm getting a lot more contacts. Because ranking good is one thing, but if someone lands on your site and then they're not able to contact you because they don't know, they can't find your phone number, or they're confused by the layout, you can still end up losing customers. So a lot of times, even if someone stays ranking the same in the search engines, they get contacted more often because we have the contact form on the homepage. We have your phone number right at the top of the website, and nice big bold lettering, and all of that stuff we take care of, and we find works really well. So again, if you want to check it out for yourself, go to techsitebuilder.com. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so that if it doesn't work out for you, just let us know and we'll give you your money back. So before we head out, Michael, do you have anybody that you would recommend that I have on the show?
Yeah, I actually and I thought long and hard about it. So I'm looking at my friends list on Facebook, and I have my old professor, media professor. His name's Carlos Moreno. And I'll get you his contact information. He, as far as media, when I was studying it, he's awesome what he does. He's a professor of media. He does media stuff on the side, so he's definitely someone you could definitely contribute.
Very cool, because I think a lot of my listeners, including you, do your own graphic design and your own production and your own editing for all the stuff you put together. And frankly, all of us have to do that for a while at some point. So I think it'd be great to have someone who's an expert in that come on and kind of talk about how to put together a good graphic, or how to edit a good video, or how to produce your content so that it looks professional. And that's a great suggestion. I'll definitely look forward to having him on in the future. All right, man. Well, like I said, it was a pleasure getting to know you and getting to talk to you on the show. And we will have you back in the future just to, kind of
Definitely.
catch up and see how things are going. But I wish you all the best.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, guys. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Computer Business Marketing Show. Let's keep the conversation going. Head on over to computerbusinessmarketing.com. Leave a comment in the show notes. Let us know what you think of the episode. You can also come to the Tech Site Builder Facebook page and let us know there, or go to the Computer Business Marketing Facebook group, which is a great group of computer business owners and marketing professionals all giving each other advice about how to get the word out about your business, what works and what doesn't. Lots of good discussions in there, and lots of good topics to get you thinking and to see what's working for other people. Lots of people are using like Google Beacons in their shops, so that's interesting to see how that's working for some people. We also have people opening new locations, and they're talking about how they're marketing their new location. Jason Miller in the group had a ribbon cutting at a new location very recently, and he did a cool thing for the ribbon cutting. He had cookies made with his logo on them to give
That's
to
awesome.
people. So that's kind of a different take on the whole swag thing, where you're giving out your something with your logo on it, but it's going to go away because they're going to eat it. But
That's awesome.
it's still fun, and so you get people posting pictures like that and kind of sharing ideas in the group. So definitely join us in the Computer Business Marketing group. Just go to techsitebuilder.com/group, and that'll forward you over there. Also, if you listen to the show on iTunes or Stitcher, be sure to leave us a review. Every review you leave helps us get found by other folks, which means we can grow our audience, which means we can bring on other guests and better guests and keep the wheels turning on this computer business marketing machine. Check out the newsletter. If you go to computerbusinessmarketing.com, you could sign up for the Computer Business Marketing newsletter, where we give you weekly tips and tricks on how to grow your computer business. Finally, don't forget to check out our sponsors, techreputation.com and techsitebuilder.com. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Computer Business Marketing Show. My name is Matthew Rodella, saying here's to your success.